a military buildup by Japan and possibly triggering a major arms race or the worst disaster, a military conflict, is completely against the real interest of Japan. It's against the interest of the world. Prime Minister Takaichi's statement was very imprudent. It was just not timely, not necessary, and a little bit hard to assess why she made it. She's brand new. It could well be just a mark of inexperience. She is known to be a hardliner, a hawk, so it's not inconsistent with her views, but it was a completely unnecessary remark for her to speculate about Japanese military engagement in a possible conflict over Taiwan. No reason for it. It did escalate tensions tremendously between China and Japan. And in general, honestly, Japan should be a lot more careful. It was not China that invaded Japan repeatedly between 1894 and 1945. It was Japan that invaded China repeatedly. So it just seems to me, as a very basic measure, Japan should be careful, measured, prudent, and peace-oriented vis-a-vis China. And I think the new Prime Minister of Japan got off on the wrong foot, and I hope that it was a mistake that won't be repeated.
Should people accept a Japan that is much more militaristic than it used to be?
It is the fact that over the last 10 years, Japan has become less pacifist, more military-oriented. It is raising its military spending. It talks in a more hawkish way, none of which, to my mind, makes sense for Japan's interests. A military buildup by Japan and possibly triggering a major arms race or the worst disaster, a military conflict, is completely against the real interest of Japan. It's against the interest of the world. When it comes to Japan, it is the sad history that when Japan industrialized first among the Asian countries in the late 19th century, it joined the so-called imperialist club of European imperial powers. It invaded China in 1894-95. That's when actually Taiwan became temporarily a colony of Japan, when Korea became a colony of Japan. And then Japan brutally invaded China from the 1930s onward, and well over 10 million Chinese people died from that. It was horrific. The cruelty was immense. The suffering was immense. We should be remembering this not by militarist language or divides, but by saying everything should be done to make peace in Northeast Asia. There were actually four major powers in World War II fighting together. That was the United States, the Soviet Union, especially mainly Russia, Britain, and China. And this was an alliance against the German-Japanese fascism. And it could and should have continued after World War II. Instead, a Cold War developed. The relations broke down. But what President Xi is rightly reminding us is that the U.S. and China were on the same side in World War II. Actually, I want to just add that Russia and the United States were on the same side during World War II. We should remember that. That's not just a footnote of history. That is the possibility of how the great powers could actually, even today, say, we have shared interests. We even have a shared history. We have been allies in the past, and we should be allies, if I could put it that way, going forward. What the United States has said in recent days is we want to get back to good relations, and President Trump wants to make a visit to China. And so that's good news. This is very important.